Hey guys, Adam here. Hey, we finished our Campfire Mastermind with the Entrepreneurs Men's Shed last week, and you'll see some of the video testimonials from the guys that have attended. I've shared in the group, and there's more to come of those in the next few days. But the thing I wanted to share today was the big takeaway for me that I came to understand in those few days. Because look, it was a transformational event, and I'm still figuring out exactly what happened, but it was big. You know, the guys came away with the promise was it was going to be a pivot point in terms of moving forward and doing, you know, your big work in the world and your big creation, birthing a new idea, and getting out of our own road, making that happen was really the theme of what we worked on. And you'll hear a bit of stuff the guys will talk about, you know, the masculine and the feminine and all this stuff that sounds maybe to outsiders, if you haven't been part of that conversation, like a bunch of hippie bullshit. And I understand that because I would have thought the same not long ago. But the point is that once we get out of our own road and reconcile all the elements of life that can propel us forward, we can go and create what we want to create. And there's some business strategy attached to that, obviously. The takeaway, though, coming back to the point, for me was understanding that everyone in this group was about one thing as in common, and that was we are choosing an unconventional life. We are choosing a non-conformist approach to life, love, business, relationships, money, lifestyle, health. We're not accepting the norm. I mean, the norm, you know, for most guys is simply get a job, climb a corporate ladder, pay off a mortgage, have the best car you can have in all that time, basically live on the fucking hamster wheel until it's time to start slowing down and spend all your money and time trying to get your health back and trying to have some kind of life at the end of it. Now, that's okay for some people. If you're happy doing that, that's all cool. But I know I'm not, and I know a lot of the guys in the group are not, and if you're listening to this and that resonates with you, then, you know, this is your chance to be part of this conversation. Now, the non-conventional lifestyle, the non-conformist life and business, the key thing is that it can get fucking lonely to choose something outside of the box that no one else is doing, to make different decisions that other people find scary or strange or unusual. It's easy to sit and do what everyone else is doing, but, you know, unless you're happy being a corporate drone or a slave to your business or whatever it might be, you're going to have to ask some tough questions. And by the way, asking tough questions of yourself is the gift in the process, in that, you know, the growth and the personal awareness that comes as a result of asking tough questions and asking different questions is really what keeps us alive and keeps us growing and learning. That's the real juice that comes out of being in this unconventional paradigm. It's not what we tend to go in asking for. We tend to go in asking for more time off and, you know, more money and all these sort of things. But what we end up with is quite often we get that plus this expanded level of awareness and a much more fuller experience of life due to, you know, this personal awareness and personal growth. But the point is, if you are on this path or considering being on this path, be warned that it can be very lonely. It can be isolating, because you will find that there's people who are of a conventional mindset who will openly criticize you, they'll openly attack you, they'll undermine your confidence in what you're doing, and you'll quite often look around and go, well, am I the only bloke who thinks this way? Am I the only guy who's unprepared to sacrifice my health, my well-being, my family, my time off, you know, just for a fucking paycheck or just for a business that is not, you know, setting me alight every day? And if you feel that way, the most important thing you can do, I believe, and certainly in my own experience, is to create a network of people around you that support your mindset, your paradigm, your unconventional choices, your non-conformist approach. And that's really what the essence is of the Entrepreneurs Men's Shed. It's taken me a while to figure this out. There's so many elements of it. There's, you know, it's how do you grow a business without robbing time from your family? It's how do you have a business and a lifestyle without sacrificing your health and your well-being and, you know, flirting with burnout every day just to get by? How do we grow better relationships at home? How do we have better friendships, better relationships with our women, with our children, and have all those in the context of still running a business and choosing the life we want, living where we want? How do we create a term I heard the other day was spaciousness in our life? I call it bandwidth. How do we create bandwidth to give ourselves time to answer the tough questions about who am I, what am I here for, and how am I expressing that in my business and in my life? How's my work? How am I doing my work powerfully in the world, and allowing myself bandwidth to figure out who I am and who I'm developing into? That's the important stuff, and that's the stuff that it turned out on the weekend our women are looking for in us. That was kind of evident, is that our women are looking for us to become that guy. They're looking for men that live strongly to their values, are doing work they believe in the world, are happy making money and happy to be rewarded, but can see that that's not the only motivator. You need support to do this, guys. If you're doing that on your own, I reckon it's a tough slog, and being part of this community now is really what this is about. So the plan at this point is to really explore how we can offer this community this experience, this transformational event we ran last week. How is that available to more and more men? How do you get involved personally? How can you become involved with that, and without us diluting the quality of the offering, is the question we're now asking. If you're interested in being part of this, I invite you to leave a comment here on the Facebook group. Tell me you're interested, and we'll figure out ways to make it happen. It's really important, I think. There's a growing band of blokes out there. There's a growing movement of men choosing a different life. And I'm not talking the 20-something kids living in Bali, living on internet lifestyles, all that shit. That's not necessarily relevant when you're in your 40s and got 3 kids or whatever. I'm talking about guys who've got businesses, who've got some level of success, or have got a good career, and we're at a point in our lives where we're not going to go out and take stupid risks necessarily, but the only risk we are aware of is that the time is ticking. We're on the downward slope, arguably, and we want to make the most of the time we've got here on Earth. Let's go do the work we care about. Let's give ourselves the lives we care about and want for our kids, for our women, and for ourselves. Let's live on our own terms. So leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you guys what you think, and if you want to be part of this in a real way, that's the next step. We're looking at how to make that work for you. Talk soon, guys.